Hello there, you're listening to ZoliMoli's Thoughts and Nuts. Selamat Hari Raya, Mauzik Batin, Eid Mubarak to everyone. So, as the title says, I don't usually talk about issues, but for Palestine, I would. Now, before I start, I don't really like talking about issues, not because I don't want to talk about it. There's only one reason, because I stutter whenever I talk about issues. And the reason why I stutter is because I know that my brain would go through every single information that I read, and then I have this tendency of I want everything to be said and conveyed without me forgetting. And me knowing myself, or people knowing me, my train of thought keep on stopping by every single station and then forgetting the train carriage, or the passengers. What I'm trying to say is that whenever I diverge my topic or topic of subtopics, I tend to just straight away cut in without finishing what the previous subtopic is. That's what happened always, and I don't really like that part of talking and then diverging into a topic when the previous one never finished properly. That is why. But then this time I'll try to just talk without using too much factual statement, but my thoughts, my opinions are fact based with facts lah. Because if you just scroll Instagram or open Twitter and then you see people are kind enough to educate people on this is what happened, you need to know about this, and I read all of those. And second, the reason why I try not to talk about issues is because, well, not really. And the second reason why I delay a bit is because, truth be told, this is my almost 59th recording me trying to talk about Palestine. Because why? I stutter a lot in the previous recordings, and I know that I myself, when I listen to myself, I sound what are you talking so? Something like that. But this time, I'm not using any scripts because I've done almost 60 recordings. Pretty much I should be okay now. 60 goddamn recordings, my god. To a point where I got disappointed and down. And I got, pretty much frustrated with myself. So before that, disclaimers and as an insurance to myself, I know that I'll be spouting nonsense or wrong facts if that happens. Like I said something wrong, as in hey, that didn't happen. Do point it out. Do just DM, message, comment or something. Because why? I despise having wrong information getting spread. Because that's just a big no to me. And also, where do I stand? Where do I stand in this event of Palestine and Israel eventful war? I stand with Palestine because why? They're the ones who are getting trampled by Israel unfairly. 70 plus years. Started with kindness, Palestine took them in because no country wanted them to sell in other countries. They were never a country to begin with. Israel was never a country. They were settlers. Yet Palestine took them in because, pity. Oh my god, you guys are so pitiful. You guys need a place. Then we'll give you place. And guess what happens? Israel bites back. They are greedy, insolent greed. They want to take over everything because it's as if everything is not enough. That is where everything is messed up by common sense also. And also, I'll be using my base of opinions are mostly by siding Palestine. Second, using the rules of war, international humanitarian law, and common sense. Yeah. When I say common sense, I'm not sure. Since it's so rare, it shouldn't be called common sense. So I guess if you have a heart sense, is if that makes sense. Lamau. I said sense 2 times, 3 times, whatever lah. So I'll try because if you want more factual, like timeline or a more what do you call elaborated pictures and posts, you just go to Instagram and Twitter because there's a lot of it. And do not be like this is not about us, this should be, I guess it's not about me, because I know that whenever we talk about Palestine and Israel, people have this misconception that it is about like all religion. No, it's not about religion. And I know I'm just pretty much saying apa restating from this Instagram post, the illustration where two girls sitting and drinking, and then saying the misconception, and then the other girl speaks the truth. So is it about religion? No, it's never about religion. The reason why people think it's about religion is because the Western media keeps portraying as if uh, everything is about religion. That is where everything is wrong. Because why? In Palestine, there are Muslims, there are Christians, there are Jews. Meaning that religion was never the problem in the first place. And yeah. Yet Israel attacks Palestine as a whole. And right now there's pretty much a lot of videos and interviews already, because why? People are very aware and people want to know and people want to get the truth out. So if you just search, or pretty much you just like scroll Instagram stories and then people will be sharing posts, there's the truth. People are standing for human rights, and that is great. And I know that some people be like, why now? I mean, here's the thing lah. We are in the era where social media is very influencing. And it can be in a good way or a bad way, but then at the same time, just look at for current events, look at it in a good way, because why? Now everyone knows. The same way how Black Lives Matter, people be like, this is wrong. The police killed George Floyd, and the number of lives taken by the police in US. Yeah, people be like they they start to be more aware about it, and then everything, and suddenly people are very aware of like, hey, this is racism, hey, this is oppression, this is wrong. That's the base. People are standing up for those who are getting trampled, those who are getting oppressed, years and years and years. Yet the media portrays nothing. And now, be glad, be glad that now is the time that people are knowing about, people know like this is wrong. We should fight for it. We should stand up for Palestine because why? Israel is pretty much the messed up one. Yeah. And also, whenever as much as there's good, what you call, reception and feedbacks from people, they're standing up for like Palestine. That is good. That is great. But then there's this one type of people that I despise, really, really despise. The type where they choose to say both side is wrong, and then they ask people to they try to silence people who are fighting for justice. This is because I saw an Instagram post. I don't know, some random ustad that I don't know. The, you know the Paul Insta Paul be like um you know whatever it is. But then the what they call what this person say, tak payah nak bising sangat lah pasal benda ni, dua-dua side salah and everything. That is messed up because you know how what it feels when you're fighting for something right and for a better good, and someone just say, "Oi, shut up." That pretty much it feels rude. It's like when to give a simpler example. If you're taking an exam, like big ass exam that will change your life, you study every day, every single day, night, because you know you need to ace that exam, and yet someone says you're stupid, do not study. How depressed and how rude do you like, it's, if you do feel so, it's very rude to experience, and it's rude for the ones who say that, like, shut up, like they disregard your effect, your not effect, they disregard your effort in making things right. That is why I despise this kind of people. And I know that it's very bad to wish for someone's unfortune, or to wish someone a bad luck. It's very bad. But whoever is like trying to silence people who are fighting for justice, I hope that you fall face down in the middle of a mall, and then everyone just look at you and do nothing, but they constantly look at you. I hope you fall face down, nose broken, bleeding, teeth gone. I mean, it's bad, but at the same time, that's how I hate those kind of people. Yeah. But then that's about it. And also, if we were to go to a simpler approach of what base, or what do you call, what considers as good and what considers as bad something, I use this one I look up for this one article. Is there any rules for or during war? And there is, and the reason why the rules exist is because they want to lessen, or they try to lessen the casualties, the number of deaths, especially civilians. Because when in a fight, especially if, like, for example, you watch a boxing match, a UFC match, so there's two sides, A and B, the red and blue, and you as a spectator, or the ones who are pretty much in the, like, vicinity, can, if you happen to be in the middle of the fight, do you want to get punched and, arms broken, nose broken, bloody face? Do you want that? Of course no. So that's why there's the rule, the rules of war. That's why it exists. We do not want any, stray bullets, or pretty much the ones who are not really, in the fight, to be killed. That's pretty much it. And if I were to state every single rule in the humanitarian rules of war, Israel broke every single of them. Because why? Number one rule is that never never target civilians, the ones who are not fighting, the ones who are injured. Pretty much do not attack people who are not fighting, who are civilians. Do not attack women, children, old people. Yet, Israel attacks first by attacking. Like, they killed and injured civilians, Palestinian civilians. That's number one, they broke that. Second, the rule that they broke, the one that Israel broke, is that they bombed hospitals, they blocked medical personnel from tending the injured. And the rule is that know that the rights for, like, civilians to get medical care, like if there is an injured person or civilian, they have the rights to get medical care. They have the rights to be tended their injuries and wounds. Yet Israel, once again, they broke it by blocking medical personnel. No, you've seen news. They did that. They bombed hospitals. And also, do not target, like, residential homes, like the ones that they live. That's one of the rules also. You cannot destroy houses. You can't destroy residential places, because why? That is, when we're saying what are the human rights, one of it is food, water, shelter, like among of it lah. I don't know what are the human rights anyway, because if I have to, then I would be stuttering throughout the podcast if I have to read everything. And if you're curious about it, do just search in Google, because why? Google is that. I mean, as much as people are saying that, oh, it's inaccurate, then go read 10 different articles. That's how you get the middle ground of everything, like the understanding. Just try to understand. If you're curious, like, what are the human rights anyway, might as well just ask someone. I mean, they might know better, but then don't just ask one person, just ask like tons of people. So what do you think is the human right? What are the human rights to you? And then you get the answers. And if you, like, just trust with one source, then pretty much it's either you're lazy or you just don't care. Yeah. And also, when we're talking about rules of war, there is one thing called declaration of war, where if you're launching an attack, you need to announce, you need to say, like, we will be attacking this. We will be attacked if, That's the rule. Because why we don't want to attack civilians. We do not want to like add numbers of casualties. When we say number of casualty, did you know that? In case you don't know, again, Palestine suffers more numbers of deaths compared to Israel by a huge margin, like very huge. When I say huge, I don't know how huge it. I should say by word, like like Palestine. There's like 5 to 6, probably 7 digits. Yet Israel is like 2 or 3, and those deaths, I don't know where did that come from. Because if you look at images, Palestine is in ruins, but Israel is clean as hell, as if there is no war there. And if you're using common sense, they're using Palestinian lands as like a war zone, which shouldn't happen because there's a thing called no man's land where fights, armed conflict, armed fights. It's not even conflict. It's not even a fair. It's not fair to call it conflict because why? If you're saying it conflict, then it should be equal. Yet it's very one-sided. One-sided because Israel military is being funded by the Western colonial countries such as US. Yet Palestine has no funds for military. And continuing back from the declaration of war, people started like, ooh, this, like they started knowing, they started being aware is when Hamas launches missile. I mean, there are people who were like, they know the starting point was from Sheikh Jarrah. The recent events, we do not go way back because why? If I have to go back, then pretty much this podcast would take like, I don't know, 5, 6 episodes talking about it, which would be tiring for me if I have to talk about it. You know, if there's anyone who wants to talk about it, come to my podcast. Say, I want to be a guest. We want to talk about Palestine. I welcome you. I welcome you very much. Because it's hard for a single person to talk about everything. I'm just Zol Iskandar. I know where my capabilities lies. And I am incapable of covering 100% the facts. I can only my capability is that I know that Palestine is Palestine needs to be saved. They need to be we need to stand up with Palestine because why? As I said, they're being trampled 70 plus years being trampled, oppressed by Israel, yet no one bets an eye. I mean, it's not that people didn't want to bet to give a damn or be aware about it. They are aware of it, but then they are afraid. People are afraid of is it okay to talk about this? Because we know that it is the misconception, the fears of offending people, offending the Muslim. I mean, as I said, it's not about religion. If you think that killing people is wrong and being oppressed and needs to be stopped, then it's okay for you to talk about it. And when I say being oppressed, who is being oppressed? Palestine. So current events, if you're standing up, stand up for Palestine. If you stand up for Israel, I don't know who you are because it's an unfair, there's so much unfairness. Israel getting funded by US, On the contrary, Palestine has no funds for military technology, and the number of deaths, like literally, it's frustrating to talk about it. It's very frustrating, especially when Israel tries to play victim, or when Western media tries to side with what do you call Israel, saying that Palestine is the terrorist. No, the ones who are attacking first, the ones who are attacking, who are causing so much death, is Israel. Israel are killing Palestinian, like as if there's no remorse. And once again, do not be neutral. Do not try to be neutral, because why? If you're trying to be neutral, it's pretty much you cannot see where is the wrong in like the situation. Yeah, because it's an unfair fight. It's very unfair. Ah, God. I wish I could talk about this longer, but then at the same time, I'm getting frustrated and pissed off by the fact that I am unable to do to help Palestine, because I don't know. Some people have different capabilities. People, uh, the least that they can do is to know about it and share and stand up for Palestine, and the most they can do is pretty much make noises in the social media world so that we are fighting against the wrong side. When we say the wrong side is Israel. And also, if before I end, I we know that if you broke the rules of war, it's considered as a war crime. And I was like searching for what are the punishment if you commit war crimes. And I saw like search for like bunch of articles. There's not much because there's no reason. There's no. I couldn't find like a simpler answer to it. But then the answer like I had to search or everything was like lifetime in prison or death sentence. So as I said, it's bad for for you to wish for someone to get bad luck or a bad accident is, but those who are behind attacks on Palestine, which are, the Israel governments, officials, authorities, every single one who are I don't know. I do not want to wish for bad things, but then I hope you guys are sent to like I don't know under the sea prison or something, because I don't think you guys should exist. If you continue to like resort to violence and then killing Palestine, then I don't think you guys should exist also. Like because of the nature of arrogance and then thick-headed, not knowing that they are living nicely compared to Palestine. You know, the the contrast of like destruction is very, you know, unfair. Uh, yeah, so that's about it. I mean, it's not about it. That's not about it. I wish that if there's like, if like non-Muslim are, I mean, whoever you are, whoever you are, if you know that killing people is wrong and colonization should already end, it shouldn't be now. Like the era of colonization should never happen. Shouldn't happen nowadays, because like what are you trying to achieve? Like if you think that uh, colonization or apartheid is wrong, especially these when Israel are like attacking, killing Palestine, if you think that it's wrong, then do stand up for Palestine. Do not be neutral, and do not silence. Do not try to silence people who are fighting. That's just rude and very not, you know, it's just rude. It's just rude. And if you do, if you're like worried to like stand up, knowing that if you think that it's gonna offend, just try to do your research first, or just ask directly to people who know about it. I mean, you can try to ask me, but then I'll just give my own opinions, and my opinions stand with siding with Palestine. Yeah. And if you're like very curious also, if you're listening and then you're like, I want to know more, you can just go to Twitter, go to Instagram. If you're surrounded by people who are aware of it, then you're good. Your information sources is good, because you can just like tap the post, like, and when I say tap the post and like, because Instagram and Twitter are trying to delete Palestine related posts. That is very oppressive. They're trying to oppress the truth. And yeah, pretty much get yourself to know and try to read every post. And know that the wrong one is Israel and the victim is Palestine. That is what I'm trying to say. If anything, if there are wrong points stated by me, do point it out. And also, if I know the war, the thing going on between Palestine and Israel, it won't end like suddenly end, but I do hope it suddenly ends lah. By, you know, Palestine getting back what is theirs, and justice is served, punishment to Israel, especially the ones who are behind the attacks. When I say behind the attacks, Israel, you guys need to be punished. Like seriously. I do not side with you, Israel. I stand for Palestine. Hashtag Save Palestine, Free Palestine. I guess that is all from ZoliMoli's Thoughts and Knots. It has been ZoliMoli Deshta. And once again, if the fight is continue, I will not stop talking about it also. Because why? This Palestine suffered for so long, and if I stop now, what's the point of this episode and fight? Am I right? Yeah.